I previously posted about my very first experience with 5-MeO DMT, which I described as the most magical, beautiful, euphoric experience of my entire life. My subsequent journeys, though, however, were very different experiences, and so I'm going to share a bit about those with you. Ideally, with 5-MeO, you want to be able to completely let go and surrender. But what I was noticing in my body was all of this resistance and tension. As I went deeper with the medicine, all I saw was darkness, and I was immersed in this intense emotional experience. I had no idea what was happening in the moment. I just felt all these waves of these intense motions coming over me. And the emotions were like fear, shame, guilt, sadness, grief. There were no visuals attached to it. I had no idea what these emotions were attached to, but it felt scary, terrifying, horrible, but there was still this like kind of euphoric feeling that carried me through all these emotions. At one point, I felt like I was dying, and it was the most terrifying feeling I've ever experienced. And it's weird that I can say I felt like I was dying when I don't know what it's like to die. But I swear that's what it was like. I was dying. I would be crying, screaming, flailing my body around. I started to purge by spitting, vomiting. I had these deep moans coming out of me. And in that moment, I had no idea how to make sense of what was going on. And what I learned afterwards was that I wasn't able to surrender and completely let go because I had these blockages in me. And these blockages were all these traumas and repressed emotions that I had locked inside my body that I had no clue about. I believe that this medicine wants to bring me light and peace and love into my life and free me. But in order to do that, I have to go through any darkness that's trapped inside my body and process it. The best way I can describe my experience is to think if you were thrown into a dark car wash without the car to protect you, and you have all this stuff just being thrown at you. You can't make sense of what's happening. You don't know what's going on. The more you fight and resist, the worse it's going to be. And you just have to ride it out. And then eventually it's over. And it's exhausting and draining. But I come out feeling almost like this, with this freshness and cleanliness and this newness to me. The journey itself lasts about 10 to 15 minutes. It's the most intense, exhausting thing I've ever experienced, but it's been so helpful for my subconscious to be able to process all the repressed traumas and emotions that I didn't even know existed within me. And as I'm able to do that, it has allowed my body to start to heal. Along with the medicine journeys, there's a lot of integration and therapy I participate in to help me process all the learnings that I get from these journeys. And my goal is eventually to have all this trauma dealt with so that I'm able to completely surrender and let go and have a much more spiritual breakthrough.